Here from TechNexus, and thanks for joining me for the last video of my weekly series for Fusion 360, custom valves, and Plant 3D and custom valves. So beginning of the week, we started making this valve. Yesterday, we exported it to DWG, and today I'm looking at that same DWG that was downloaded from the Fusion web app. Now, I don't know if it's a bug or if it's an issue, but it's come in as 1/10 of its size that it should be. So I've logged that with Autodesk and see what they come back with. But in the meantime, I'm going to scale everything, base 0.00, and go up by 10. And what I need to do here now is W block it out. Base 0.00, select objects, so all, and I'm going to put it on my desktop as a 300mm valve, and it's in millimeters, and we go OK. So I'm just going to close it out, and now I have a new block on my desktop. Inside a Plant 3D project, I go new drawing, and this is I'm going to call it valves 300mm. And then what I want to do is just using the insert command, browse to the desktop, and using the insert of the 2020, insert it at 00. Okay. And switch to wireframe, and then there it is. Now this is the part we just need to check. So it's 350 wide. I need to do a command called plant part convert. Select the block, add a port, put it at one end going away from the valve, accept it, add, in location of the other side going away from the valve, accept it, and then here you have to click on exit, and now we have that block in there, and it's a plant part. So I'm just going to close that out. Then we jump into the spec editor, and I go to my valves catalog. But what I've done also as well is I've just made just a quick and nasty metric spec for me to work with. So metric flanges and metric pipe. Depending on where you're watching from, you might be in Imperial or in metric. So under the catalog editor of the catalog I go create new component, custom, select valves in the pull down, and select flanged ends because that's what it is. And then I switch over to metric because I'm working in metric, and the rest should be fine. And I go create. So with these settings now, the ports, I tick that on. So all ports are the same. All ports are going to be raised face and yes, and all ports are going to be E as the pressure class. And the long description, I'm just going to call it AAA, just so it's at the top of any lists. But you can put in whatever, obviously. And under this sizes button, the model, it's obviously not connected to a model, so we just need to navigate to the plant project where that drawing is and go open, and then it'll find that 300mm valve for me. And same thing over here, the connection port, so all ports have the same properties, and my nominal diameter for matching pipe is 323.85, and my long description, again, I'll just make it here AAA, and then go save to catalog. Now it's part of the AS valves catalog. Go to the spec editor, pull up the valves catalog, sort from top to bottom, and I've got my AAA spec here. And I go add to spec. So now I save that and exit. And when it comes up saying, do you want to save it? I'm not changing the catalog. Now, coming back into our plant drawing, so new drawing, and I'll just call it 1. And then I'm just going to get plant to redo the palette here for it, and we click on flan on that valve, place it. You can see we get the drip glyphs. Click on it, click on the plus, and the plus on the other side, and you can see there that we have that valve. And if I switch to 2D wireframe, you can see it again in here. Okay, and if we stick it in the middle of the line, again, same thing, we can rotate it, orientate it whichever way we need to. Okay, now this is good if you want to see the detail. It was brought up when I posted one of the videos on LinkedIn that someone did mention that the more you put into these plant projects, these custom valves, the heavier the model is going to get. So bear in mind, if you're going to have a lot of these, it might be easier just to use simplified valves rather than more detailed valves, because that way your model's not going to get too heavy, less risk of crashing and any other issues that might come with it. So if the client really wants detailed, maybe have a think about using separate models for the detailed valves in another file for Navisworks possibly. But again, this is quite lightweight because there's not much in it, but the heavier this model